Welcome to Dolphin Dive Daily, your go-to spot for everything Miami Dolphins. If you bleed aqua and orange, hit that subscribe button and join the pod. The Miami Dolphins are staring down the barrel of a massive challenge this Thursday night as they prepare to take on the Buffalo Bills in what could very well define the trajectory of their early season. After starting the season 0-2, head coach Mike McDaniel finds himself under mounting pressure, and the stakes have never been higher. This is the kind of scenario that tests the mettle of a coaching staff, the resilience of a locker room, and the leadership of players who are supposed to carry the team through adversity. And make no mistake, facing Josh Allen and his high-octane Bills offense on a short week is about as unforgiving as it gets in the NFL. For the Dolphins, every practice, every meeting, and every strategic decision between now and kickoff carries immense weight, because there is very little room for error if Miami wants to salvage what has so far been a frustrating start to the 2025 campaign. In the midst of all this, there's a sliver of hope on the injury front. Star wide receiver Jalen Waddle is listed as questionable with a shoulder injury, a development that has had fans holding their collective breath since the season opener. Waddle initially suffered the injury against the Indianapolis Colts, a setback that cast doubt over his availability for Week 2. Yet, in a display of toughness and determination, Waddle suited up against the New England Patriots and delivered an impressive performance, hauling in 5 receptions for 68 yards and a touchdown. That game demonstrated not only his physical capability, but also his mental fortitude, as he continues to be a cornerstone of Miami's passing game. If Waddle is able to take the field against Buffalo, the Dolphins' offensive outlook brightens significantly, because his ability to stretch the field, create mismatches, and make plays in critical situations is unmatched on the roster. His presence could be the difference between a competitive outing and a complete blowout against a Bills defense that thrives on exploiting weaknesses and applying relentless pressure. However, the Dolphins will be facing the Bills without veteran tight end Darren Waller, who is sidelined due to a hip injury. Waller's absence removes a reliable weapon from Miami's offensive toolbox, particularly in short yardage and red zone situations where his size, experience, and route-running savvy make him a constant threat. Losing Waller forces the Dolphins to rely even more heavily on Waddle, Tyreek Hill, and the other skill players, while the offensive line and quarterback Tua Tagovailoa must maintain a level of precision that leaves no room for mistakes. To compound matters, Miami will also be without cornerback Storm Duck, who is dealing with an ankle injury, and safety Ifeatu Melifonwu, sidelined with a calf injury. With these key pieces of the secondary unavailable, the Dolphins' defense faces a daunting task against Josh Allen, one of the league's most dynamic quarterbacks. Allen's ability to extend plays with his legs, deliver throws on the run, and find open targets even against tight coverage makes the absence of these defensive backs especially critical. The Bills' offensive schemes are built to expose defensive lapses, and Miami's depleted secondary is a vulnerability that Buffalo will undoubtedly target repeatedly. It may only be Week 3, but for the Dolphins, this game carries the weight of a playoff matchup. Coming off an 0-2 start, they cannot afford to drop another game, especially against a division rival with championship aspirations. Mike McDaniel, however, is maintaining a measured optimism, focusing on the unique advantages that a short week can offer in terms of team focus. Speaking about the matchup, McDaniel referred to a kind of blessing that comes from facing a formidable opponent on a condensed schedule. According to McDaniel, your focus is super clear and pretty obvious. After a loss, it can be a blessing because you have no time to think about anything else. The team understands that every moment you think about anything but the opponent will serve you in the worst way. It's important guys are solely focused on the Bills. While the coach's comment may sound like standard motivational talk, it underscores the philosophy he is trying to instill in a team that has experienced early adversity. McDaniel is essentially saying that there is a silver lining to having to prepare on a short week. There's no time for distractions, no time to dwell on past mistakes, and no room for external noise. Every meeting, every walkthrough, and every play call must be fully absorbed and executed because the Bills will not grant any leniency. This mindset will be tested in dramatic fashion when Miami takes the field at Highmark Stadium. Josh Allen, who has developed into one of the league's most prolific dual-threat quarterbacks, will undoubtedly challenge the Dolphins' defense at every turn. His combination of arm strength, mobility, and football IQ makes him exceptionally difficult to contain, particularly against a secondary that is missing multiple starters. For Miami, containing Allen is not just about limiting big plays. It's about minimizing the mental mistakes that inevitably come when defenders are put in challenging situations. The Dolphins will need precise communication, disciplined coverage, and an ability to generate pressure without overcommitting, because Allen is as adept at exploiting over-aggressive defensive schemes as any quarterback in the modern game. On the offensive side, Tua Tagovailoa must find rhythm quickly, as time of possession and sustained drives could help keep Allen and the Bills' offense off the field. The margin for error is razor-thin, and every play could swing momentum dramatically. Beyond the X's and O's, this game carries significant psychological weight for Miami. Starting 0-2 has already created a cloud of doubt around the team, but a strong showing, or better yet, a win, against Buffalo could completely change the narrative. For the players, it's about proving that the early season struggles do not define them. And for the coaching staff, it's about demonstrating that the team can respond to adversity with poise and execution. The Dolphins are also acutely aware that the Bills are not just another opponent. They are one of the team's primary rivals in the AFC East, and division games carry a unique intensity that magnifies every mistake and reward. A victory here would provide a major psychological boost, reaffirm the belief in McDaniel's system, and potentially ignite a turnaround that could carry through the rest of the season. Conversely, a loss would deepen the sense of urgency and scrutiny around Miami, intensifying pressure on both players and coaches alike. In terms of personnel matchups, all eyes will be on Waddle if he suits up. His ability to stretch the field vertically and horizontally can create critical separation, forcing Buffalo's defensive backs into uncomfortable situations. Tyreek Hill's speed and route-running precision will also play a pivotal role in keeping the Bills' secondary honest, while the running game, although not as explosive, could provide key balance and open up play-action opportunities. On the defensive side, with Waller out, Miami will need to lean on linebackers and edge rushers to disrupt Allen's timing, while safeties and cornerbacks must communicate flawlessly to cover every passing window. Every missed assignment or misstep could be costly, but executing cleanly and efficiently could allow Miami to not just compete, but potentially pull off a dramatic upset on national television. In the end, Thursday night's showdown between the Dolphins and the Bills is shaping up to be much more than just a regular season game. It is a test of resilience, preparation, and mental toughness. With key injuries affecting both sides, strategic coaching decisions becoming pivotal, and the psychological stakes higher than ever, this matchup has all the elements of a classic NFL thriller. Miami has the chance to change its narrative early in the season, and while the road is treacherous, the opportunity is there for the taking. The game kicks off at 8:15 p.m. Eastern Time, and fans can expect an intense, high-stakes affair that will challenge the Dolphins to their limits and showcase the very best of NFL competition. For Miami, it's more than just a game, it's a statement. And on Thursday night, the world will be watching to see if the Dolphins can rise to the occasion or if the Bills will continue to assert their dominance in the AFC East. Still with us? Then show some love. Hit that like button and let us know in the comments. What's your take on the Fins this week? There's a buzz in the air that no Dolphins fan can ignore, a storm brewing off the coast of Miami, and it all starts with one name, Stephen Ross. The billionaire owner of the Miami Dolphins, a man known for making waves both on and off the field, has reportedly called an emergency press conference, and the words circulating are as chilling as they are straightforward. If you don't deliver, everything changes. Those words alone have sent shockwaves through the locker room, the front office, and, of course, the fan base that watches every move the team makes with a mix of hope and trepidation. Sources close to the team hint that Ross is not merely issuing a stern warning. This is a line drawn in the sand, a signal that the patience that once lingered in the sunny corridors of Hard Rock Stadium has run out. Every pass, every play, every snap this season has suddenly taken on a new weight, a new urgency, because when the owner speaks in this tone, it's rarely empty words. Whispers from insiders suggest that the meeting called by Ross was not your standard media briefing, but rather a high-tension, no-holds-barred session where the future of coaches, executives, and even some high-profile players was laid bare on the table. Imagine a room thick with anticipation, where every gaze is measured, every sentence a potential pivot point for careers. In the world of NFL ownership, few things carry more gravity than a statement like the one Ross reportedly delivered, and those who have experienced his decisiveness know that change isn't just a possibility. It's inevitable if expectations aren't met. There are murmurings that key figures in the coaching staff were left uneasy, perhaps even questioning their positions, as the billionaire's words left little room for interpretation. Change everything is not the language of encouragement. It's the language of revolution, of a reset button looming over the entire organization. And in a league where perception can shift as quickly as a quarterback's pass, the ripple effects of Ross's message are already spreading beyond the stadium walls. Among fans, the reaction has been nothing short of electric. Social media feeds are ablaze with speculation, ranging from tactical overhauls to complete front office shakeups. Some believe this is the harbinger of a roster revamp, possibly signaling the departure of underperforming stars, while others suggest the focus may squarely be on the coaching team, whose play calling and game management have reportedly frustrated Ross to the point of public scrutiny. The tension is palpable, and in true rumor mill fashion, names are being thrown around like confetti at a championship parade, though none can be confirmed. Yet the sheer intensity of Ross's pronouncement has created an atmosphere where every misstep on the field is magnified, and every practice session is viewed through a lens of do-or-die stakes. For a team that has flirted with mediocrity, this kind of ultimatum is simultaneously terrifying and exhilarating. It is the kind of moment that can either galvanize a squad or send it into freefall, and only time will reveal which path the Dolphins will take. Inside the Dolphins' inner circles, sources suggest the press conference was more than just words. It was a message, a signal that Ross's patience with incremental progress has evaporated. The whispers indicate that some executives were visibly shaken, their confidence rattled by the bluntness of the ultimatum. One unnamed source reportedly described the mood as tense, almost electric, like you could cut it with a knife. The pressure is no longer confined to performance on Sundays. It permeates every meeting, every strategy session, every decision. Rumors are swirling that contract evaluations, player trades, and even draft plans could be revisited under the shadow of Ross's warning. It's the kind of scenario that turns locker rooms into pressure cookers, where every glance, every gesture, every word spoken carries hidden weight. And when an owner as wealthy and influential as Ross makes such a declaration, it's not a bluff. It's a promise that the consequences for failure could reshape the entire organization. Observers of the NFL are also weighing in, noting that Ross has a history of bold, sometimes controversial moves that have left an indelible mark on the league. From stadium deals to high-profile hires, he's never been one to shy away from disruption, and insiders hint that this latest warning is consistent with his modus operandi. Use decisive, unmistakable language to shake the status quo and compel immediate results. Analysts have speculated that Ross's ultimatum may even extend to the GM position, with some suggesting that the owner is prepared to make sweeping changes if he feels the team is not progressing quickly enough. The mere possibility of a front office shakeup has sparked a frenzy of speculation, with betting markets, social media commentators, and sports journalists all weighing in on who might be on the chopping block if the Dolphins fail to respond to the ultimatum on the field. The drama is palpable, and every passing day without a definitive response seems only to intensify the speculation. Even among the players, there are signs of heightened awareness and concern. Rumors suggest that locker room conversations have shifted, with veterans reportedly discussing the ramifications of Ross's statement in hushed tones, aware that their next performances could very well define their tenure in Miami. Young players, too, are said to be feeling the pressure, balancing the excitement of proving themselves with the anxiety of performing under a microscope. The psychological stakes are immense, and coaches are scrambling to maintain focus while navigating a roster that now knows failure is not an option. There's talk that team meetings have become more intense, more detailed, as every tactical decision is scrutinized with the knowledge that one misstep could trigger the sweeping changes Ross promised. For fans, the narrative is irresistible, a high-stakes drama unfolding in real time. a story where the heroes and villains are not yet fully known, but where tension and expectation collide in a perfect storm. Speculation has also extended to the draft and potential trades. Insiders hint that Ross's comments could be a subtle nudge for the team to explore bold acquisitions or consider strategic moves that were previously on the back burner. There are whispers that scouting reports are being reevaluated and that agents representing key players are already engaged in behind-the-scenes discussions, trying to gauge how the owner's ultimatum might impact contract negotiations. Every rumor adds fuel to the fire, from potential trades that could reshape the offensive line to possible coaching hires that would signal a new direction for the franchise. It's a delicate chess game, and in this high-pressure environment, every move carries outsized significance. The Dolphins' next few games are not just about wins and losses. They're about proving that the team can respond to the ultimatum without forcing the hand of an owner known for decisive action. Meanwhile, the media landscape is ablaze with analysis, predictions, and wild speculation. Every local sports show, national broadcast, and social media channel is dissecting Ross's words, searching for hidden meaning or potential targets of his frustration. The narrative being built is one of a team at a crossroads, a franchise on the edge of transformation, and an owner who is unafraid to press the reset button if the results don't come quickly. The story has all the elements of a Hollywood drama: tension, high stakes, and a cast of characters whose fates hang in the balance. Fans are divided between hope and fear, knowing that the next few weeks could either solidify a legacy or ignite a complete overhaul. And amid all this, Stephen Ross's presence looms large, a reminder that in the NFL, the power to alter destinies often rests with the person who signs the checks. Ultimately, the buzz around Stephen Ross and the Miami Dolphins is about more than just one press conference. It's about signaling a new era, one where accountability is non-negotiable and where failure carries immediate consequences. The rumors, the whispers, the speculation, they're all part of a narrative that is evolving by the hour, and the only certainty is uncertainty. Dolphins fans, players, and analysts alike are left watching, waiting, and wondering who will rise to meet the challenge, and who will find themselves on the wrong side of a sweeping change. As the countdown to the next game continues, the question hanging over Miami is not just whether the team will win, but whether anyone in the organization will emerge unscathed from an ultimatum that has shaken the foundations of a franchise. Stephen Ross has spoken, the words are out, and now the ripple effects are unstoppable. The Dolphins are on notice, and the storm is only beginning. That's a wrap for today's dive. If you're loving the content, share it with a fellow Dolphins fan, hit subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss a splash. Fins up.